Hi guys, today we will be simplifying expressions with rational exponents. And there are 3 steps to this kind of problems. Rewrite all radicals in exponential form. Second step, use the exponent rules to simplify the expression and write your answer as a radical in simplest form and rationalize if needed. So I'm just gonna solve all the odd ones for you, and you're responsible to rewriting all what I'm writing on the video, and also you're responsible for the even ones. So let's go ahead. Problem number 19. So we see that it's x to this power 1/3 times x to this power 4/3. First, we are going to simplify. What we're going to do, we're going to multiply these two together. When we multiply radicals with the same bases, we add the exponents. So that's what we're going to have. X to power 1/3 plus 4/3. We know that 1/3 plus 4/3 is going to give us x to this power 5/3. Now, we are going to put it in a radical form. We need a radical. The 3 goes, the bottom of the fraction goes on top here. And then x is to the 5th power. Now, we can simplify it further, because x to the 5th power is x to the 3rd power times x to the 2nd power. So this is, again, exponential rules. And then we're going to say that that's what it is. Going to split them. We know that this is actually x, because it's x to the power 3 over 3, which is x to the 1st power. And then this is left alone. So this is your final answer. All right, now problem number 21. We notice that we're dividing exponents with the radicals with the same bases. So if we're dividing, it means that we are subtracting the powers. So it's m to the 5 over 2 minus 7 over 4. Okay, 5 over 2 is the same thing as 10 over 4 minus 7 over 4. 10 minus 7 is m to the 3 over 4 power. And all we're going to do, we're going to put it in a radical form. So we need a radical. The 4 goes right here. And then we need m, and it's to the 3rd power, because this top goes right there. So this is my final answer, this problem. Okay, 32 to 1/2 to 1/2. When we're raising the power to the power, we're multiplying those powers. So it's 32 to 1/4. Okay? So now we're going to put it in a radical form. This 4 from the bottom goes right here. So 4 here, and then 32 to the 1st power. Okay, now I know that 32 is 2 to which power? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. So it's 2 to the 5th power. 32 is 2 to the 5th power. Now we can split it as 2 to the 4th and times 2. Okay, the answer for right here is 2. And then this part is left alone. Why is it 2? Because 4 over 4 is 1, and 1 is the power of that 2. 2 to the first power, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now, we see a negative power. When it's a negative power, it means the number is not happy with its floor. Remember, when we were still in school, I was explaining that. Now, therefore, we're going to put the 100 on the bottom, but its power is going to be positive now. And then 1 is left on the top. 1 is left on the top, and then we're going to put this in the radical form. So we need a radical 2 here, 100 here, to the first power, which we really don't write. Square root of 100 is 10 on the bottom, and 1 is on the top. Negative 216 to 1/3. To the negative 1/3. So now we're going to make this positive 1/3. For that, we have to bring this negative 216 to the bottom. So it's positive 1/3. 1 is on top. And then we're going to take a cube root of this negative 216. And cube root of negative 216 is negative 6, because negative 6 times negative 6 is 36, times negative 6 is negative 216. But, we can show it here like that. And now we clearly see that the answer is this. Okay? Negative 1/6. Now, number 29. We see two radicals. I'm going to put them in exponential form first. So this first expression is actually v to the 1/3 power, because this 3 goes on the bottom of the fraction and the power here goes on top, times v to the power 1/2. Okay, because it was 2 right here, goes on the bottom of the fraction of the power, and then 1 goes on top. Now, since we have multiplication here, we're adding those powers. So it's v 1/3 plus 1/2. We're finding the common denominator. This is 6, so it's 2 plus 3 v to this power, so it's v to the 5/6. And then we need it in a radical form. The bottom goes right here, and v to the 5th power. Just gonna write it more clearly. So it's a 6 here. Okay. So this is your final answer for this one. Now, 4 over a cube root of 4. So 4 is left alone. Cube root of 4 is 4 to the power 1/3. We understand it's 1 on the top. We understand that we are dividing radicals with the same bases. So when we do that, we subtract the bottom from the top power. So 1 minus 1/3 is 2/3. So it's 4 to the 2/3. Now we're putting it in the radical form. Radical means the sign, and then 3 goes on top, and then 4 squared. And we can simplify it a little bit. It's a cube root of 16. Or we can even do, we understand that 16 is 2 to the 4th power, right? Now, 2 to the 3rd times 2 is 2 to the 4th. This part here is actually 2, and this part here is cube root of 2. And this might be our final answer. Now, there's just one more problem that I'll put on this paper right here, number 33. So we have a radical form. We're going to put it in exponential full form. So it's x to this power 10 over 4. 10 over 4 is the same thing as 5 over 2. Now, 2 on the top, x to the 5th here. Now we're going to split this x to the 5th power as x to the 4th times x. This is our previous lesson. So now we're going to split them, put them under different roofs. So it's x to the 4 over 2 power times square root of x. 4 over 2 is 2. So it's x squared, square root of x is your final answer. So I'm going to say it again. You're responsible to copy all this, what I talked about on this video. So these are all odd ones, and then you're responsible for the even ones, the full credit. And then I need to see your name on the paper, and I want you to complete it in your own handwriting, not anybody else's. Okay, have a good one, guys. Bye.